and welcome to the episode 7 of Time to Shine. This is your host Rukhsar Syed, and today we have a very dynamic motivational speaker present with us today on our show, Mr. Simerjeet Singh. With over with over 1.2 million subscribers on YouTube and 40 million plus views of his inspirational videos, Simerjeet Singh is a highly sought after international motivational speaker and mindset coach who has partnered with over 300 organizations globally over the last 13 years, inspiring them to take action on the things that truly matter in their lives. Singh was honored with the prestigious Global Excellence Award in Motivational Speaking and Unconventional Speaker. Singh helps leaders and organizations challenge their beliefs and thrive in a constantly changing era while encouraging others to make bold course correction in both their personal and professional lives. I welcome you, Mr. Simerjeet Singh, on my show, and it is my immense pleasure to have you on my show here.
It's a pleasure to be on your show, Rukhsar, and you can well imagine how much I miss airports now, having this background of an airport lounge, waiting lounge behind me.
Wonderful.
Thank you. I'm just getting a little nostalgic. I used to complain about, too much travel, too much travel. I'm on the move and all the times. I'm in airport lounges and airplanes and I'm moving from one place to another. And 2020 was one such year where the Almighty said, now you can rest for the entire year.
And for the entire world, for the entire world, it got online, face-to-face conversation has totally been, stopped, and it has been replaced with online conversation.
I know it was tough for everybody. It was tough for everybody, especially for teachers, and they did a marvelous job. So a round of applause for all the wonderful teachers across the world who adapted to technology so quickly.
Yes, because teachers and doctors as well, working non-stop and for the people, for the community so well, and even the teachers. Yeah, so the
doctors goes without saying. They were the frontline soldiers, doctors, nurses, paramedics.
Exactly. Exactly. So the topic for today's session is most, common, the obstacles which teenagers face is, when it comes to face some examination. Even if we connect it to the pandemic situation, when it comes to face the examination, when it comes to complete any project before the deadline, it is very difficult for them to, to overcome the issues and the barriers. And that's where time management comes into the biggest scenario. So what is your, suggestions regarding the time management strategies which they can use?
I think, Rukhsar, the number one thing for us to understand is in the last 10 or 15 years, the amount of options people have is shot up by a factor of 10. So you can spend an entire day in a supermarket just looking for the perfect cereal for breakfast, or the perfect jam. There's 100 different varieties. So as compared to maybe 20 years ago, back when we were growing up, we didn't have so many choices. Our choices of TV channels to watch were few. What movies to watch were few. Internet used to take so long for web pages to load. And, since the choices were not that many, we were restricted to a narrow zone and our decision making was quick. Now, the problem with this generation right now is there are too many choices. Too many choices of what you can watch, how long you can watch for, too much independence, too much availability of everything. And that has led to these young minds are not able to figure out their priorities. That's the problem number one. The high volume of choices has taken away our youngsters from their priorities. Now, governments in every country across the world, they regulate alcohol, they regulate tobacco. They want to make sure harmful stuffs don't get to the youngsters because their mind is not yet developed in order to make the distinction between right and wrong. Yet, we're putting something as addictive as a smartphone with an internet connection in the hands of a young person, not understanding that it's perhaps having a very addictive effect on the brain as well. So to youngsters who might be watching or listening to this interaction, I will say this. Number one, reduce your choices. You must have heard about a lot of successful people who even wear the same clothes day in, day out. I think Steve Jobs used to do that. Mark Zuckerberg still does it. So many other people, there's the Shah Rukh Khan, I've heard he's got all these black suits. He'll always wear a black suit. And, of course, Shah Rukh Khan is different. He's in the entertainment industry. But for somebody like Steve Jobs, it makes so much easier, the process so much easier for him in the morning, deciding, oh, what am I going to wear today? I wear a turtleneck every day, so I'll wear a turtleneck again, right? So reduce your choices. That is my tip number one in order to manage your time better. Number two, things that you want to do, make it easy for you to do them. So if you want to study, make sure you've got your desk ready the night before. Make sure you've got everything in place the evening before. So if it is the gym that you want to go to, make sure your gym clothes are out and they're ready so you're able to hit the gym early, so you don't have to make the decision, what am I going to wear to the gym today, right? Decision making is tough. In the morning, it's easy for me to brush my teeth because it doesn't take any decisions. I've been doing it for whatever number of years. I just wake up and subconsciously I start brushing my teeth. Decision making is tough, so make decision making easy. Make it easy for you to do the things that you want to do, and make it difficult for yourself to do the things that you do not want to do. Example, if you feel you're wasting a lot of time on the smartphone, keep it away from the bed. Don't keep it by the bedside, so you're not checking notifications every now and then. Make it difficult for yourself, because in your weak moments, you're not that strong, and you pick up the phone again, and the next thing you realize you've wasted half an hour. So these are some of the things, and I believe make a to-do list every day of your priorities the evening before. Some people make the mistake, I'll wake up in the morning and then I'll make the to-do list. It's too late. Plan the day a day before. Of course, everything will not go according to the plan, but at least some of the things you can control, and that will give you a sense of satisfaction. Okay, I've achieved something today.
Yeah. So as you said, the to-do list, the famous investors like Warren Buffett and Ivy Lee, they have even said the same strategies that, to-do list, the 5 goals which we have to write in the list number 1, and that those goals and those tasks which are not so important, we have to include them and eliminate them, or we have to include them in the list number 2. So this, these strategies, I hope this will be very much helpful for the listeners, for the youngsters and teenagers as well. So now, as you said about the mobile phone or the addiction of the gadgets, here the online violence and unhealthy social media comes into the picture. So what is your opinion about this? Why the rates are increasing so much when we say about the unhealthy social media? These youngsters who are absorbing all the negativities instead of taking the advantages and learnings from that.
Okay, let's talk about what you just called the online violence. As a kid growing up, I used to play Ninja Warriors. There was a game called Ninja Warriors, and the character would have a sword, and we would kill, quote unquote, kill so many characters. And I think it would be not wise to say that a kid playing a game on a video game, in which is some violence, some sort of, maybe it's a fist fight or a boxing match or something else, that he's going to do that in the real world. I don't think there is a direct correlation. However, at the same time, we have to understand, whether it's games, whether it's social media, this stuff is designed to be addictive. It is designed to activate the reward centers of the brain. So the next level is coming, and now I've got these powers. My character in the game has this power now. Now I can go to the next level. So they keep you hooked with something next. Psychologists call it FOMO, fear of missing out. There's billions of dollars these corporations invest in making sure if you don't pick up your phone and check the notifications, subconsciously you get a feeling, oh my God, I'm going to miss out on something. And look at what I did to my phone. I broke the screen of my phone recently, and it's going to cost me a lot of money but thankfully, thank God, I did not fall down the stairs myself and broke a few teeth. That would have been really bad. But I was just checking an so-called important message on, everything can wait. We got to remember that. And yes. I think a couple of things regarding social media and electronic media is we have to understand it is addictive by nature. For really young kids, I'll tell the parents, there is no glory in saying, oh, my 10-year-old has an iPhone. I gifted an iPhone or an iPad to my 11-year-old. They're very tech friendly. There is no glory in doing that, because they're going to get hooked on that gadget. And in the process, they're going to lose out on so much. Their tender brains have not yet developed the muscle to say enough, they can go overboard, and it can be very harmful. So we as parents, as teachers, have to make sure that we negotiate. Extremes are also not good. So we negotiate, we help them navigate this uncertain new, it's new, it's relatively new. It's been the last 5 years or so, this thing has exploded. So we help them to navigate and find out what is best for them and find a middle path, so that they can self-regulate. The ultimate goal, Ruxar, and something like this for educators and parents is to help the children achieve self-regulation. Once they know, I picked up the iPad because I had to attend my Zoom classes or I had to do my assignment, and now it's time to put it back again and to play with my friends or to read or something else. Once the child develops that sort of self-regulation, your job as a parent is now to take a step back and say, okay, I know what you're doing, and to give them the level of trust. So it's about finding the middle path. No technology is good or bad in itself. Nuclear technology is not good or bad in itself. You can use nuclear technology to bomb and kill millions of people. You can use nuclear technology to run nuclear power plants. Technology is not bad in itself per se, but human beings, we have to learn and adapt, and especially to new technologies. It takes us a while to figure out what is the bright side of this and what is the cost we will pay for this, and then to find a middle path.
Yes, exactly. So coming to the third issue, which I wanted to discuss with you, Mr. Simerjeet, which is very, very important. Like teenagers at that stage of time when they want to choose the career, the dream career which they want, but
Right.
into the standards of society or the familial restrictions or the opinions, anything it may be, they are unable to choose that, and or they don't have the audacity to keep their opinion front of their parents or their families. That is the reason why they lag behind and they are unable to to come up professionally or to learn something new from their life. So what can they do in this issue, and how they can overcome this fear of matching the levels of society or convincing the parents as well if they want to achieve something they want?
They cannot match the level of society because they're new. You know what happens when some newcomer comes onto your team? Let's say you've got a team of 200 people at an institution, educational institution. We got a few newcomers joining the team. They come in with a sense of, I got to change things. I will make this a better place, right? They're doing this wrong, and let me teach them how to do it. So teenagers also are these new arrivals on planet Earth. They have these hormones raging. They're full of energy. They have dreams. They have desires. They have visions, and they're bringing in that fresh energy. And they are going to question a lot of things. There is nothing wrong with that. That's how we make progress as society, with teenagers and youngsters questioning, why are we doing the way we are doing it? In that, a lot of new things are going to emerge. A lot of your disruptions, technological disruptions, new companies like Facebook, Airbnb, for example, and so many others. The reason they are where they are today is because somebody dared to question the status quo. Or these GoPro cameras, these small cameras, which it is said that the inventor was saying he was a avid surfer, and he would go out surfing and he could not take selfies with his phone, right? Because he's in the water. So he created this new camera. So the world is a better place because teenagers and youngsters decide to question the status quo. However, this has continued since time immemorial. The society is going to pressurize them. Parents are going to. And some of these pressures or some of these demands are well-intentioned. They don't have bad intentions, and the clash is going to happen. So here's what I believe teenagers should do. Let me read this out. It's called the voice. Listen to the voice. There is a voice inside of you that whispers all day long. To all the youngsters who are listening right now, there is a voice inside you that whispers all day long, I feel that this is right for me. I feel that this is wrong. There is a voice inside of you that whispers all day long, I feel that this is right for me. I feel that this is wrong. No teacher, preacher, parent, or friend, or wise man can decide what's right for you. Just listen to those voice that speaks inside of you. Just listen to that voice that speaks inside of you. And I can tell you this, we human beings, we are all born with an inner GPS. When we do something which goes against our values, we feel that turbulence. Or, you don't feel comfortable with yourself. You feel that hatred for yourself. You feel that sense of guilt or an anxiety. I've done something which I shouldn't have done. And that's the inner voice. That's your guidance system telling you, hey, this is not who you are, right? Exactly. On the other side, when you do something which builds up your confidence, right? You go to the gym, for example, for 5 days, or you help somebody cross the road, or you help a stray dog, or you do something that, you finish your book, you finish your goals for the week. And in the end, you feel, wow, I feel good about myself, right? And that's how your self-confidence is built. So to all the youngsters who might be under undue and multiple influences of well-intentioned, some of them well-intentioned influences of teachers,
Yes.
parents, social media, peers, like their fellow folks telling them, let's do this. Just understand, don't follow the herd. You don't have to follow the herd to fit in. Be yourself and listen to your inner voice, and that will lead you to success.
That is truly amazing, Mr. Simerjeet. Now we are coming to the very interesting part of this session, that is telling about your life experiences. Like, you can share your life experiences where you have learned many valuable lessons which has helped you to become the person you are today, and that life-changing moment in your life.
I think, Ruxar, one of the things that has had the most impact on my personal journey and professional journey so far is that I lived and traveled in 5 different countries. So I went as a young student for university to Sydney, Australia, when the Olympics were happening, the year 2000. And then my first job was with Marriott International in the United States, in
Wonderful.
Scottsdale, Arizona. I spent about a year there. I lived in Dubai also for 8 or 9 months. I was part of the pre-opening team of the Grand Hyatt Dubai. I lived in the UK for 4 years. And now since 2007, I moved back to India as a full-time motivational speaker. And I've traveled across the world with my speaking engagements.
Great.
And Dubai is a perfect place. The Gulf is a perfect place to learn from so many different cultures. You see, the moment you land
Exactly.
at the airport, you got Filipinos, Lebanese,
Yes.
Bangladeshi, Pakistani, Afghani, Indian, everybody, all different nationalities working
Yes.
together as one. And that is just beautiful. That's what I admire about Dubai and the Gulf, is that so many people from so many diverse backgrounds can come together, live peacefully, and create so much value for the economy. And that's a lesson for all of us. So multiculturalism is something that I learned during my travels, because you learn that there is no singular right way, that my way is not necessarily the right way. You learn mutual respect. You learn so much in problem solving, critical thinking, creativity,
Exactly.
innovation. And that's one of the most important things I learned on my own journey. And second is also connected to the first one, is self-reliance. At a very young age, I started making money for myself, pocket money to begin with when I was 16, 17. So pocket money to
Absolutely.
begin with, and then later on also to support my university studies with part-time jobs while I was studying in Sydney, Australia. The Olympics were happening, and that was a great opportunity to work in different capacities. So I worked at some of the most premier destinations in Sydney, including the Opera House and the Stadium Australia and so many other places, in different sort of odd jobs that I've done over that period of 1 year. And the satisfaction, and I say this to the parents also, don't spoil your kids by giving them everything before they deserve it or before they've
Exactly.
earned it. Make them earn it. If
Yes.
they earn it, they will value it more. Make them wait for it. Don't just hand it down to them. And also, the best gift you can give to your child is that of self-reliance. If your son or daughter can make enough money to support themselves, if not fully, even partly, they would have learned to appreciate everything along the way. They will not take anything for granted. And you would have helped coach and build a complete human being, somebody who will be a problem solver for themselves and also for the society. You will create a person who will not be dependent on others for their advice, but also will be a source of inspiration to others.
Yes, exactly. Your story is truly inspiring, and I hope our listeners will learn so much from you, Mr. Simerjeet. And the point which you said, being self-reliant and self-dependent, is the greatest thing which one can, experience and discover within themselves. Like,
True.
instead of running behind things, why shouldn't we earn and become independent in our own way? So this is the greatest lesson and the takeaway which you have given us. And the last message which you want to give to our listeners and the youngsters, and that
I would
advice.
say, I would say is find your mission. Find some purpose, and maybe some of you will not be able to answer this question immediately. You'll say, oh, I don't know what my purpose is. I'm confused. And I will say, don't let go. Keep asking yourself this question. What satisfies me the most? What unique skills do I have? What strengths do I have? How can I serve the world? How can I make a difference to the world? How can I make the world a better place? And when I say find your mission, excuse me, I would say think beyond yourself. Think of service. How can I serve? How can I serve my community, my country, my parents? How can I make this world a better place? And you will see through that, you will find so many new business ideas, entrepreneurship ideas. You will become a better human being. We all have the same amount of energy, Rukhsar. This is a big misconception. You say, oh, this guy is more energetic than that guy. No, no, no.
Yes.
No one is born lazy.
Exactly.
No one is. I think Zig Ziglar said it best when he said, the American motivational speaker, Zig Ziglar, he said, no one is born lazy. They're either sick or uninspired. So you either have someone who has a physical issue, or they just don't have enough goals. So to everyone who's watching this right now or listening to this conversation, I would say the best way to ensure that you have more energy and enthusiasm on a day-to-day basis is to find a mission and to figure out how can I follow this mission, to create a life that embraces that mission, wherein you are able to use your strengths and you're able to serve the world. And then everything else, all other irritants will seem like minor issues. This is not working right and that is not working right. You will see that they are minor issues. They will not affect you so much because now you've found your golden parachute, which is your mission. Your golden escape from all the complexities of life is, I know what I have to do. Even on your most difficult day, even on the day that you're feeling depressed or sad or unsure about things, this one thing will get you out of bed is your mission. And you may not find your mission immediately, and that's okay, but keep looking for it. And once you find your mission, it's going to be like true love. In the first few moments, you will realize, aha, this is my path. This is what I want to devote my life to.
Exactly. So thank you so much, Mr. Simerjeet, for joining us on our show today. And thank you so much for the golden words which you said and for the valuable insights which you have shared on my show. So thank you so much for giving time also. And I hope
it's my pleasure. My pleasure, Rukhsar. Thank you for the insightful questions.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I hope my listeners will benefit a lot and they will take a lot of learnings from this session.
Yeah, we have a popular YouTube channel wherein we keep sharing, we keep answering the questions of the viewers. We keep publishing all sorts of different videos. So go check it out. And on podcast as well, on Spotify and Ghana.com and other platforms, you will also find all of this inspirational material. Thank you for having me.
Many of your workshops and your lectures and the event which you have attended in our school, Abu Dhabi Indian School, that was so very impressive, and I have learned a lot from that session. And thank you so much for doing that session also.
No, you guys were a wonderful audience. The teachers at the Abu Dhabi Indian School are one of the most energetic audiences I've worked with. Wonderful, intelligent people and full of positive energy. So I thoroughly enjoyed it myself.
Thank you so much, sir.